Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Let me hit this live button on IG. Get this thing cracking. What's going on, Zach?
nothing, man. Just chilling out. How you
Yeah,
feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the live edition of the Boxing Rush Hour Show. I am one of your hosts, Abraham Gonzalez, founder of FightsATW.com, and I've got professional boxer Zachary Ochoa, who is the co-host. Zach, it's nice and sunny over here in Southern California. What's it looking like where you at?
It's nice, man. It's been fucking raining like crazy these past days, bro. But when it's nice, it's nice. It's almost like they speeding us summertime to come. So, you know,
Yeah, and it's like, man, it feels like the summertime took longer to get here, even though officially summer doesn't hit till June, but still, man, it looks like it just took longer to get here this time around than any other time.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So listen, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. It always seems like when we come on, a lot of weird stuff coming on. I'm gonna put it in here. Posting it to X right now so that the people come talk to us. As always, as you coming into the chat here for folks that want to join the conversation, the at ABG Boxing on YouTube, the link is pinned to the top. If you want to come on, ask questions, talk your shit. If you're on X, I just posted it. If you follow me at ABG718, I just posted the link on there as well. So yeah, shit, man, it's boxing. We've got a little bit of a light schedule, kind of. We have activity. It's just name recognition isn't really there, right? There's some good fights here and there.
Yeah,
Not until we get to like July, August when shit is gonna
that's all.
really be popping. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
when it starts
Uh,
pumping.
yeah. So, but before we get into that, what was it, about 2 weeks ago? Manuel Navarrete, Charlie Suarez. I know we didn't really get to talk about that. The cut that was ruled a headbutt, but I was there ringside and I saw it when that happened. I was confused because they would kept saying it was a headbutt. And I was like, I didn't see them clash heads. I saw a punch, and
Yeah,
then his shit opened wide open real quick.
it was bad, man. It's bad.
When you saw it initially versus watching the replay, was your reaction the same, or did you feel like maybe it was so bang bang that it could have been a headbutt, and then when you saw the replay, you were like, nah, it was a punch.
Nah, when I saw that immediately, I was like, oh, that was a headbutt. Like you could see it like ching, and then when you see a replay, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This is a little different, you know. Replays, man, these replays, this technology nowadays is really crazy. Imagine if they really had that back in the days, you know, what you could have saw. But those replays, they got it covered.
Yeah, and this is the thing. If that fight would have been in Vegas, they would have stopped the fight to do the replay, and we would have had a TKO potentially if they would have stopped the fight due to the cut, because Navarrete would have been by a punch, so that would have been a TKO. So it's interesting how it all played out. After the fight though, he was in no hurry to talk about a rematch. No
No,
hurry
no,
at all.
nothing. Nah, he don't want that. You know, Navarrete, it looks like he just wants to go already. You know what I'm saying? He looks like
Yeah.
he wants to make his money, then he wants to just like, go chill with his family and retire. That's what it looks like, to be honest.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that
I'm
was
getting
the thing.
I'm getting a lot of vibe from that. A lot of people I'm getting that from a lot of fighters right now.
Yeah, and listen, what we talked about before, right? Like, people aren't going to be staying to 40 like these guys are now. Like 30 to 33, they're going to be punching, bro.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
gonna be punching out. So, it's crazy. And then so California State Athletic Commission, I guess somebody had leaked out to Boxing Scene, to Lance Pugmire, saying that they were gonna rule it a no contest. I think he said,
That's what they
right?
said.
Yeah. They were gonna rule it a no contest. And then the WBO, like, they were like, well, let's then kind of the California State Athletic Commission like retracted a little bit, and they said they're going to investigate and this, that, and the third. The WBO, I hit up Gustavo, the president, and he was like, "Yo, once they finish doing what they're gonna do, probably in the next like week or two, he was like, then we're going to talk to them and find out what they came up with. If they deem it that it was a punch and that the referee just dropped the ball, then there could be potentially the WBO forcing Navarrete to do a rematch."
And guess what? It would literally be. It would be on the only right thing to do. To be honest, you know that it would be the only right thing to do.
Yeah, and yo, Charlie Suarez was game, bro, and I told you that too. I told you he was gonna be game.
You did tell me, but I was just like, yeah.
Yo,
he might. But
yo, and let me tell you, would you be surprised if I told you that Navarrete made $1 million for that fight?
For that fight.
For that fight, $1 million he was paid.
Wow,
it's good bread, bro.
Hey, and look at the weight class he's in.
Yeah,
God understands something like that goes to show you how the boxing business is right now. You know what I'm saying? So you can make money. You know, it's just who you with and what's your name like. You know, and not that he brings a good crowd. He brings a good crowd, bro.
Yeah. It was a solid crowd. It wasn't like a big crowd. It was a solid crowd. They had the top portions, you know, curtained off and all that. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, he made his money. If I was to predict anything, it would be that they would tell him that he needs to rematch him within 120 days. So
120 days?
Yeah, that's normally what they do. Like if they call for a fight, they'll say, "Hey, he's got to get done within 120 days, maybe 180." But I think 100, 120
sometimes.
Yeah, I think 120.
If they were supposed to have a big fight lined up, and they're like, "Yo, they throw the sanction. Yo, here's some bread. Let me take this fight first, and then we'll take the rematch afterwards. If not, you have to vacate a belt and all that stuff." Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if they say 120 days, let's say they make the ruling within the next 2 weeks, we're talking September, right? So
4 months.
You know that's enough time. That's enough time.
That's more than enough time. You got 2 months of partying, then you got 2 months of training.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, listen, it was another Top Rank had back-to-back weekends, right? It was coming off of Inoue and Cardenas, and then Navarrete and Charlie Suarez. It was a hell of a fight, man. They was beasting in there, man.
Yeah, they was working real good. And the way I just really like the way Navarrete throws his uppercuts, man. He tries to land them too hard, but when he does land them, they look good, man.
Yeah, and he rocked Suarez a bit, but Suarez rocked them too. So they both got what they were gonna get out of it. And so let's see. I see the Bounty Hunter on Instagram there. All right. Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. press conference was in LA. It's right. Like these guys, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I know that the fight is the fight. But leading up to it is going to be a shit show that everybody's going to want to see. It's a car accident that everybody wants to watch.
That's the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Chavez Sr. He's got to put his input. He's got to talk shit for his son a little bit. Yo, Chavez Jr. is like he's not like a fighter that everybody, yo, Chavez Jr. But like he be chilling like he a boss. Like he literally has a boss mentality where it's like, okay, yeah, talk to him, to get my money, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about none of that.
But I tell you that the press conference was interesting enough to where I'm like, oh, I want to see this. Like I want to see more of this. I'd be interested in seeing like if they're going to do any shoulder programming, like what that looks like, right? Like following Chavez during his training and everything else. And so I'd be interested in that.
Because some people have posted him, you've seen it, him hitting the bag, the pads and stuff like that. But that's something that I would want to see. I would want to see if they're gonna go into, because we want to see if he's training serious. Because if he's training serious, I don't understand how Jake Paul can win.
Yeah.
You understand? But if he's not, then he's going in to get beat. You understand?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, that it's the show, bro. It's the show. Now let me tell you this. For the Navarrete fight, I was sitting like literally right behind Chavez Sr. So he was calling the fights in Spanish, right? For ESPN Deportes probably. So it was a dope vibe sitting behind them, because he gets super animated about the fights as if he's the one in there trying to, like,
But that's why he's good.
and it's dope, right? And this is the thing, and this is why I rock with him. Yo, in between like fights, yo, he was going inside the crowd, bro, taking pictures with the people, man, signing the autographs. Yo, this dude is a legend, man. He could be on his legend shit and just walk around and avoid people, right? Like I've seen so many do. But he was up in the crowd, bro, like pictures, autographs, just talking to the people, talking shit. Like that's what it's about, and I fucks with that guy because of that.
Yeah, that's what I like about Chavez Senior, man. He's like a real people's person. Like he ain't a fake. He's a real people's person, because he's been poor, he's been rich, he's been back poor, he's been, you know what I'm saying? And he's a real people's person. Like him going into the crowd and all that reminds me of what I would do. I win a world title. As soon as I win the world title, say if I won the world title at the Barclays Center, I would literally walk out. I would, instead of going straight to my locker room, I'll be going upstairs and I'll be walking down the bleachers, having every single person in the crowd touching the belt. They get to touch the belt. History. You understand?
Yeah, bro.
People, where you from?
And people respect that when you do stuff like that, because it's like, man, like don't forget how you got there, who got you there, because the people that are spending their money, which is harder these days than anything else,
big time.
They're spending their money to come see you. Like shit, like show them a little bit of love. You know what I mean? See what they're talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and then so
not the side.
Your boy Edgar Berlanga, right? So he had his press conference because he's gonna do the fight with Hamza Shiraz, which is the day after the Amanda Serrano fight in New York. They're doing it at the Arthur Ashe, the tennis court stadium in Queens. Now, last time I checked, I don't know how many people from Queens are going to a fight, but I guess it is what it is, right? I'm unsure about a fight being in Queens. I know that they're building a casino out there, MGM and all that in the future and all that, but
Miss Amanda Serrano, you said?
What's that?
Did you say something about Amanda Serrano? No? Or you still?
Yeah. The day after the Serrano fight is the Berlanga fight, right? And then on the co-main is Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. This is the thing, man. It's to me, it's a hard sell if you're from New York, because to get to that stadium, you got to take the 7 train.
No,
right?
It's a little bit of some ways though. It's a little bit of some ways. What I can say is though, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Queens. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Queens. Yeah. They'll come out and support Edgar and all that shit, but the migrating part from one to one spot to another part, the traffic over there at that time is terrible. Plus, people gonna be going to the Amanda Serrano fight.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it's gonna be a hard sell. Then Shakur Stevenson is also fighting, and he's not like the craziest exciting fighter. So it's like we're gonna see how it works out.
Yeah, because it's like, listen, from the BX to there, it's like an hour and a half, bro.
Yeah,
like almost 2 hours.
Talk about the BX. That's crazy. Oh, well, first of all, get on the 4 train. Make sure you got a little pocket knife on you. Get on the 4 train, and then you can be fine. You transfer to the L, all that.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're coming from the other boroughs, it's not centric like Manhattan is, right? It's gonna be a hard sell. It's gonna be difficult, and I think they're relying on maybe people from Queens going and folks from New Jersey driving in to see Shakur, because Shakur does sell tickets in Jersey.
Okay.
And so if you get half of those people to come and take the drive up north to Queens, and
You got like Brooklyn. You got Bronx here. You got Jersey's over here. You got Bronx here. You got Manhattan. You got Brooklyn. Then you got Queens. And then you got Deep Queen. They're in Deep Queen. There's Deep Queen. So coming from Bronx all the way over there is a little deep. Now, you'll have some people from Brooklyn go, maybe from Manhattan. Maybe. If they'll love you if they come from the Bronx, that good. You feel me? But from Brooklyn, you're going to have some people from Brooklyn come. You're going to definitely have some people from Queens definitely show up. And if Shakur brings his crowd, that'll be a good little event, you know?
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Mr. Boxing Guru, man, on IG. I see you. Hey, man, yo, we were still waiting on those hats, man. Like, what's the deal? Nah, we're kidding. Hey, Sal, if you follow Mr. Boxing Guru on IG or on X, he sells some dope boxing hats, t-shirts. He's got like the Mexican greats on one. He's got boxing hats in Japanese. Like he's got it in Saudi letters and all that. So shout out to Sal, man. I see you. Shout out to Jay, Fight Sports Talk. He's in the comments. What up, man? All right. So Edgar was talking wow shit. He was talking wild shit. Hamza, I give him credit. He was just keeping it cool like a G. Like, you know, it is what it is. But before that, like the night before, Edgar was talking wild because Shakur like dissed him or something like that. And then, Edgar was like, yo, don't shake my hand because I might break it and this, that, and the third. And then was that?
How that happen?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like I guess
he said something about he should be the man he's gonna sign.
Yeah. That's where it all started, and then they had their little beef or whatever. But what did you think of Edgar? Is he trying too hard to play the villain role? Because I also saw him on the Spanish radio station. I think it was like a La Mega, and the dude kind of dissed him. He was just like, "Yo, you calling yourself a legend, but you haven't really beat nobody. Like He said, beat Charlo, Plant, and Munguia, and you could come back to the show and I'll call you a legend."
Word? Damn, that's crazy. He said, well, I guess.
And then Edgar, he got all defensive and everything else. But you think he was talking, you think he's trying too hard to be the villain and play that villain role? Or do you think that, this is just part of who he is at this time?
I think this is who he is in this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? This is who he is. He's finally got to make great money in boxing. He's doing this thing. Cause straight up, Edgar, he a good dude, bro. He a good kid. He came up good. He ain't, wasn't in the streets, none of that stuff. You understand? He always boxing his whole life. And so he needs to put on a show, because guess what? People gonna tune in if he's doing all that. They're gonna want to see, how'd he do? He's gotta do it. He's gotta put butts in their seats, and he's gotta get viewers, and that's how you get viewers like that. Whether it discredits your character or anything like that, he don't care. He don't care. He's doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what got him the Canelo fight. You understand? If he was quiet and just good like the way he is, all that, he wouldn't have got the Canelo. He got the Canelo fight because of that. So he needs to do all that stuff. Is Edgar the king of New York? He's not the king of New York. I'm gonna be honest with you. The person who is the king of New York, if you want to say king of New York, technically, it would be Africa. It would be Richardson Hitchens because he has a world title. You understand? Queen, you got Amanda. But he has a world title. Now, Edgar, get these guys out of there, all that. And if he can get to a world title and win it, then he can start, king of New York, because he has the more following than Africa. It's just Africa, happens to get the belt. It's a lot of different things. But all of these fighters from New York, they gotta put on a show, and they gotta promote hard in order to get these viewers. You understand? Because everybody, they hate on New Yorkers. They just naturally hate on New Yorkers. So they're gonna tune in no matter what.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Zach is referring. Africa is Richardson Hitchens, IBF junior welterweight champion, who's fighting against George Kambosos at the theater inside the Masquerade Garden in June. All right, listen, before we go to the two big topics, I'm going to go real quick on these two fights that are coming up this weekend. Josh Taylor is returning. He is fighting Pacquiao Essumen, I think his name is.
I never seen that fight.
But this is the thing. So Essumen has fought his whole career in the UK. Never fought in the US. Kind of fought like small shows, but he is a career welterweight. Now Josh Taylor is fighting at welterweight for the first time in his career. Probably me personally, I think he waited too long to fight at welterweight. But check this out. Check this out. Since 2019, he's only fought once a year, each year. He's like 33 years old right now. Is Josh Taylor? Are we gonna see a washed version of Josh Taylor on Saturday? Straight up, like what do you think?
It's hard for me. The thing is this: I know how these guys live, man. You understand? I mean, I don't know people's lives. I'm not in their life or anything like that. But these guys, like where he's from and all that, like when they chilling. You know what I'm saying? They might be sipping a little bit. They might be drinking, going to these football games, having fun, you know, girls. When they chill, they chill, bro. You know? So I'm not sure if he was getting off the couch a couple times a week, staying in the gym. Now, if he was sparring, doing that, you know, then he can go in. You know what I'm saying? He can go in there, get ready. Take his 8 weeks or 6 weeks for a fight camp, because really, if you're in shape and keep yourself good, you really only need 6 weeks, to be honest, to get ready for a fight. I'm not sure. And ring rust always can catch up to you, depending. You know, he's got to be doing drills without the headgear inside and all that, but it's different when it comes fight night. You understand? You got the adrenaline pumping and all of it. Caleb Plant literally said something the other day. Oh, man, he said some good shit. He actually said something about Devin Haney's fighting style that night. He said Devin Haney did not fight nervous that whole fight, because nervous energy actually takes away and drains you. He actually trained that way to fight that way the whole fight, and that's why he stood fighting like that. And I was like, Caleb brought up a big point, and I think that's true. So let's see how Josh is going to look. Let's see if he's been training a certain way. I'm not sure, but this other guy, I got question marks. I really don't know who he is. Talk to me about him.
Listen, I don't know too much about it. I haven't seen too much tape on him. But this is my thing. Josh Taylor has been fighting his biggest opponent throughout his whole career, and that's the scale, bro. He's had the last few fights, he's had hard time on that scale. He looked like he was maybe like an ounce away from being in the ER, like no kidding. And now he's finally fighting at 147. But I think that all those years that he was past his time at 140, like took a little bit out of him each time. I really think it did. And so I don't know, man. I think it might be a little too late. And I don't know if Josh Taylor can he be a player at 147? Like, remember he was supposed to fight Terrence Crawford a couple years ago, and it never happened. Let me tell you.
It would have been good. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, 2019 Josh Taylor, I don't see a lot of people beating that guy.
No.
2019 Josh Taylor was a problem, man.
He smoked your ass. That motherfucker was smoking.
Yes. And so I think that those hard weight cuts took a lot out of him. And I don't know. I mean, I know this is supposed to be kind of like a stay busy fight. I think he has a hard time on Saturday, bro.
Because to be honest, he could have been fighting twice for 2 big fights at 154. Keep it a buck.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, see, but I don't know. I don't know, bro.
He is tall. There's some height to him.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think he's okay at 147, but at 154, I think he would be too small.
Because if you want to go crazy,
154 would be too small.
Josh Taylor versus Virgil Ortiz at 147, when Virgil Ortiz was there, would have been a nightmare crazy for both of them. It would have been crazy.
No,
fight.
that would have been a
I
good
don't
fight.
think Virgil Ortiz would have been ready for that. Not for that, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they would. I wish they would have done Crawford, Josh Taylor at 140, bro. Like, or even at 147. Like, if they did it at 147 before the Errol Spence fight, I still think that would have been a great fight.
Nah, I would have definitely.
Yeah.
Regis, he was trying to get his fight against Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's the last great fight that Josh Taylor had, was that Regis Prograis fight for the WBSS final. Like, that was, because he had, his eye was closed. And mind you, that's another questionable thing. Like,
he looked like Joe Calvin and Amir Khan had a baby that day. It was crazy. He looked on fire.
I'm gonna tell you, if he would have been in the US, they would have stopped that fight, because his eye was nasty, bro. Nasty. It was like this big. It was black and blue. He could barely see it. It was crazy. But all right, the other fight that they're going to be showing is in the land of the rising sun, Japan. At IBF featherweight champ Angelo Leo. He's going up against Tomoki Kameda, who's a veteran fighter, been around the block a little bit, fought Ray Vargas a few years ago at the StubHub in Carson, California. I was there for that fight.
What happened to Ray Vargas?
Yeah, and so Ray Vargas is on a sabbatical, bro. And so this is a cool fight for Angelo Leo, but listen, the featherweight division is kind of weird right now, because I feel like all these guys are like circling each other. You got Shushu out there that's trying to find a dance partner, but like he wants the Stephen Fulton fight, but Stephen Fulton's trying to get O'Shaquie Foster at 130. Then you got Angelo Leo's fighting now. Then you got Espinoza, who just fought on the Navarrete card, so he's probably not going to fight for another couple months. He might not be ready, but he doesn't sound like he's too interested in fighting Shushu. He might just be fighting Navarrete at 130, right?
Okay.
So, and I think there's one other. Nick Ball. So Nick Ball is out there now.
Crazy.
There were some rumors that he was supposed to fight somebody from the PBC, and now I heard that Brandon Figueroa is going to be fighting Joey Gonzalez possibly on July.
Wow. That's a random fight. Okay.
Real random. So I don't know. I feel like you got Omar Trinidad from 360 Promotions. He just fought this past Saturday, but he's like one of the top contenders. You got Shushu, that's a top contender. Like these top contender guys, I don't know if they get a title shot in 2025, because it seems like everybody's just kind of avoiding each other type of thing.
And you talking about from weight to what? Between what weight and what weight are you talking? Are you talking about all top contenders?
No. Just at 126, like the champions are kind of circling around like the top contenders and not really, making these fights. And it could also be a situation where the top rank thing, right? People don't know what's going to happen with Top Rank and who's going there and all that. Yeah, like all that. So I don't know. Like, do you see any big fights coming out of 126 this year, or are we going to get that, or is that can going to be kicked down the road to 2026?
I think 2026, bro. You know why? Because these guys are trying to make the money right now, man. They trying to make the bread at these low weight class. They trying to make the bread, and then when they're finally ready, boom, they want to cash out, make these big. Is it worth it? That's for these guys. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? My mandatory, okay, but I can get this big fight. Is it worth it? That's what it is,
Yeah.
And then you see guys are like, you know what? I'm gonna beat these other guys, these mandatories and everything. That's cool, because maybe I don't want to risk it, and because I want to keep milking, keep building my record, keep building my legacy. There's guys that actually do fight for legacy out there, by the way, But then there's the guys. It's a lot about the money, which we definitely get that.
Yeah, and I spoke to Shushu in San Diego, and he said, "Hey, listen, he's trying to come back in July, which we now know that it looks like July 26th is going to be Xander versus Garcia, the guy that beat Charles Conwell for the WBO junior middleweight title
Wow.
that they stripped from Fundora, and then so it's probably going to be in New York, and so likely was
Yeah,
that
it gotta be in New
yeah.
York. Definitely.
Yeah, and then so likely they'll put Shushu in there. But then I also brought something up to him. I was like, well, now that he's got that ring sponsorship, is he maybe trying to get on that Canelo card? And so he was like, yeah, well, his eyes got real big.
I hope he does, man. I hope he does. You know why? Because that's something that everybody wants to get into that spotlight as well. Because I fought on Canelo cards. Oh, they're great, bro. They're amazing cards. Everybody wants to get on those cards. And then Terrence Crawford, come on, man. And then you got to understand, Shushu's learned a lot from Terrence Crawford's team and all them. So that would only make sense. But let's see what they do for him.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see what happens. But listen, we're gonna get into now Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. First, it was labeled, hey, September 12th, Friday, Dana White's gonna be promoting the card, right? Everybody's like, all right, cool, we got that. Everything is good, right? Because on Saturday, September 13th, the UFC is running UFC De Noche or whatever UFC fight card in Mexico, in Guadalajara, right? So they were going to do a bang bang Friday, Saturday. Now I saw a video. Let me step back. Then there was Turkey came out and said no. So we're doing Canelo Crawford September 13th, Saturday, same day as UFC. But Sella, who's the partner of Turkey and TKO, is going to be promoting the fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, Ricardo Solis, that works over at Pro Box, and he's kind of in the know. He was saying that now the fight is getting moved to the 14th, which is a Sunday. So there is a lot going on. And then, Turkey was saying, oh, it could be New York. It could be Vegas, California.
No, that's Vegas. They have.
I heard that California is just not it. I'm sorry. Lance Pugmire also said Texas was in the running. Canelo's not coming to New York because of the tax situation. Same thing with California.
Vegas. Why everybody thinking about these things? Vegas is a no-brainer. Like, I don't understand. People, if they don't put the fight in Vegas, something's wrong with it. Unless it's because of UFC, but UFC is not going to touch a Canelo Crawford fight.
Well, UFC is going to be in Mexico, so it's not even going to be that. Okay. Yeah, so it's either going to be in Saudi Arabia, Texas, or Vegas. The question is,
you can't put that fight.
Is the appetite going to be there if it's on a Sunday night, bro? Like,
no, they got to put that on Saturday night, Vegas. That's it. Saturday night, Vegas.
Yeah,
it's perfect fight.
Yep. Let me see. I got Jay coming in. Jay, I'm gonna.
What is up, guys?
How you doing? I'm gonna bring you in for this topic and then slide you out. Let me. All right, Jay. We're talking Canelo Crawford.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, Zach? What's up, Zach? Thanks for having me.
This thing is moving around more than a Ouija board. What are your thoughts about this whole situation with Canelo Crawford? And does this lead to the fight not happening at all? Because there's some weird rumors that Jaron Ennis might step in for Crawford, but I don't know. I think that those are like people just talking just to talk. But what do you think about Canelo Crawford and it not having a stable date or location right now?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Abe, you're saying people just talking to talk. I mean, I've never don't believe it. People never talk rubbish in boxing. Everything runs smoothly in this sport. Don't you know? No, it's okay. I don't think there's any concern of the fight not happening. I think that's a little. I mean, anything's possible, but if the fight full on doesn't happen, I will be very surprised. I think this is more signs of just Turkey. We're seeing the limits. Okay, he had a fantastic start to the sport, a very fast start, but everyone. I mean, we live in the real world. We've all got life experience. We all know life has its peaks and valleys, and he had a very quick peak. And excuse me, now he's having a very sort of dramatic pitfall. So I agree with Zach 100%. They cannot put the fight on a Sunday night, especially if it's in the US. Now, I will say when the UFC had Khabib Nurmagomedov as champion, and he did defend his title a few times in Abu Dhabi, they did host the fight on a different time to suit the Middle East. So I can see that happening, but it wouldn't make sense to do that if the fight was not in the Middle East. So that would be ludicrous to me. I don't think there's any concern of the fight not happening. It's making it a Sunday would be interesting. If they do that in Saudi Arabia, which I actually thought that was the plan initially. As far as Dana White being taken off the ballot or taken off the promotion for the fight, I don't know if that has something to do with Turkey thinking, okay, maybe this guy, how can this guy promote my show and before that promote his show, the UFC, especially if they're going to be on the same day. That would be a little weird. As an MMA guy, the audience. Thanks, Zach. As an MMA guy, I can tell the audience that given the kind of show it is, and just how Dana White's drifted further and further away from the UFC, he would not be needed whatsoever to promote that event. So they could have so this really wasn't an issue. But Turkey's an authoritarian, so it is strange. But I think the fight happens.
Okay, all right, and then listen. I think that there's plenty of time to figure this all out. We are talking about September. However, for the fighters themselves, I mean, they probably want to know something because they're starting camp soon, right?
Yeah.
I would say probably July. And so right now, I think that they're scheduling a press conference in Saudi Arabia for the first week of June. Which, listen, I'm still on this. They should have did the press conference at the Fanatics event at the Javits Center in New York in June, because that's where everybody's going to be at. But okay, they're going to do that. I'm just curious to see how this thing works. If it's going to be in Texas, I would have to assume Cowboy Stadium, right? Because there's no other really big event out there, big venue out there in Dallas. If it's Vegas, then I mean, it's kind of weird because it went from Raider Stadium to the T-Mobile, because it's going to be at the T-Mobile, if anything. And then if it's in New York, it's got to be the Garden. Now, this is my thinking is this, a fight like that, I mean, it would have to be considered the super fight too if it's at the Madison Square Garden, right? If everybody knows, if everybody knows their history, not super fight 2, the fight of the century 2. If everybody knows their history, fight of the century 1 was Ali Frazier 2, I believe it was, at the Garden for the undisputed heavyweight title, and this is for the undisputed super middleweight title. So, I think that the Garden is, if you want to talk about legacy and you want to talk about history and all that, that's where you do it. What do you think, Zach? What do you think about all that?
I think the Garden, bro. Garden. If you want to play around, okay, go to Barclays. Barclays is it too. Barclays is more refreshing new stadium, and it's popping. Either those two, but the Garden, it's just prestige there. When Canelo fought there, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? When I watched Cotto fight there, I've been on the Cotto card there. Like the Garden for that fight is it. But if you really want to make it a bang of bringing back the Barclays Center to boxing, then that would be a great place to do it as well. You know?
Yeah, and just remember that Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua was at the Garden. That place was crazy that night, boy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But you want to hear something really good, really cool that I told you guys? Don't count them out, and you guys don't listen.
What's that?
Well, there's somebody called ALHAAYMON PBC, and they're about to do their thing. You feel me? Golden Boy, they're about to do their thing. A lot of, I don't know, man.
Yeah, Al Heyman. Apparently, Oscar De La Hoya said something about doing some business with Al Heyman.
I be telling you, stop sleeping. I'm telling you, things start.
Oh, damn.
But guess what? If it does happen, it's gonna be big time. Like the way they worked together and was working together when it was popping. Oh, it was ridiculous. It was a machine. I'll tell you that. It was a machine. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people forget that, Deontay Wilder, Danny Garcia, Charlos, all those guys were on Golden Boy.
Right.
Yep.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's not forget, De La Hoya never would have forgotten that. Al Heyman and Richard Schaefer stealing all his fighters. I mean, that's I can't say. Yeah, I mean, but just quickly while you guys were talking, I didn't realize this. Canelo hasn't fought at the Garden since he fought Caleb Plant. I mean, that's a surprise.
Caleb Plant? Are you talking about Rocky Fielding?
No, Rocky Fielding.
Yeah.
Caleb Plant. He fought at the MGM Grand Garden Arena there.
Oh, that's in Vegas. No,
we talking about Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Well, that's even more shocking. Not fighting. I didn't realize it's been that long since he fought at Madison Square Garden. I thought he had fought there a lot more. I mean, I know Billy Joe Saunders. That was a fight where Saunders was barely known to most of the American crowd, and yet, I mean, the atmosphere for that event was crazy at the AT&T Stadium. So and since then he's mostly fought at the T-Mobile Arena, which, I mean, because it's Crawford, I felt it would make sense to go to try an event like the Madison Square Garden because it's Crawford. I mean, this is the biggest name Canelo's fought for a long time, but I do wonder, and there's no guaranteed way to predict this, but I do wonder if Crawford not fighting since the Madrimov fight has maybe hurt his promotion just maybe a little bit, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's still Terence Crawford, and people never forget that Errol Spence fight. I mean, people still talk about what he did that night, but yeah, the fact they haven't got an arena sorted yet, it is a little strange. But in terms of promotion and everything, you're never going to get these two, throwing out Mike Tyson insults to each other. So it's not like we're going to miss anything massive.
Yeah, this is the thing with Crawford. What he lost in promotion, like in the ring, he gained in promotion outside of the ring.
Yeah.
He made a lot more appearances, showed his face more. He did everything that he had never done before.
PR, a lot of people.
Which come to think of it, if he would have done that back then, maybe he would have been a megastar now. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I also think that the hype of this hasn't skyrocketed yet. It hasn't jumped on the Elon Musk rocket and gone through to space yet, because we don't have a no kidding. This is the venue. This is the date.
You don't have the official poster yet.
Tickets are on sale this date. Like, we don't have that, because once that is in place, then that's when you get First Take on ESPN. That's when you get, everybody on the morning shows talking about it. That's when you start getting that. You're not going to get that until the shit is official. When things are still kind of being like maneuvered and all that, people aren't gonna jump on it like that. Wait until it gets officially, stamped, and you'll see that thing across the world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yo, hey Jay, I'm gonna put you on pause for a little bit because I'm bringing somebody else in. All right, or
Sure.
or come back in when we a little later.
Yep. What are the topics you guys getting on to later?
We're about to get into Manny Pacquiao, but I'm gonna bring in my guy Jose Corpus. I'll bring you in a little bit.
Yep. Sweet ass.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jay.
All right. So joining us right now is author, writer extraordinaire. He's just a man, period. A stand-up man at that. Stand-up guy. Out of New York. He's got a project coming out soon. He's got a book that's out now. We'll talk about it. My man, Jose Corpus. What's going on, Jose?
What's up, Abe? What's up, Zachary?
What up, Jose? What's going on with you, man?
Zach, you remember me?
Yes, I remember. I got
All right.
Face, bro.
All right, cool.
Yo,
What's up, guys?
He's the guy with the good handshake.
Yeah. Yo, Abe, I've known Zach since he was like 14. He was beating up all the kids in high school, sending them home crying.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh man, Jose, we appreciate you coming on. We're about to get into this one topic that's right in your lane, but before we get into all of that, I want you to tell the people. We got about 172 people on the live right now.
Okay.
You've got a project coming out. Please let everybody know what it is, when it's dropping, and what to expect from it.
I think well, I'm gonna show you a little picture of it because I got the proof here. Can you read it?
Yeah, it says the 4 belt era.
Oh,
Error.
like
I'm rocking with that. Not the
Like
4
that.
belt era, but the 4 belt error.
Okay.
So Bill Haney just posted something the other day where he's comparing his son to like Sugar Ray Leonard and all of that. And the thing is, you really can't make those comparisons because all these belts didn't exist back then, right? So I think it's a mistake to try to compare it. That's like somebody in 1981 saying they hold the record for the most three-pointers. Yeah, because it started in 1980, right? So we can't compare it. So what I did was, since you can't beat them, join them. So I went back to day one and I gave everybody belts. I gave everybody interims. And now we get an idea of what history would look like had the 4 belts always existed.
Wow.
June 2nd.
I need that. Yeah, I need that.
That's
You're
what's
going
up.
to get a belt soon. I heard you coming back.
I need that. Yep. I'm coming back. Yep. I'm coming back soon.
That's what's up, man. Hey, Jose. So, when is the book dropping, and where can people get the book at?
June 2nd is going to be on Amazon. July 1st, the ebook version will come out. $19.99 available June. No, my mistake. Memorial Day is coming out May 27th.
Okay.
May 27th.
Okay, so May 27th, the 4 belt error by Jose Corpus will be out on Amazon.
Yes, sir.
Ebook following, a week or two
month-
later, right?
About a month later it's going to come out. Yeah.
About a month later. Okay. All right. And then tell them about I know you had one other book that came out at least about that they can pick up right now.
Well, the other book I did was on I did New York City's Greatest Fighters, and I did the biography on Panama Al Brown.
There you go.
That's good stuff. It's good shit.
And those are available on Amazon right now.
Those are available pretty much everywhere: Target, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, all of that.
Okay, so everybody that's locked in right now, make sure you look for Jose
Correct.
Corpus's projects, his books on Amazon or wherever you buy books, and support these guys that put in their blood, sweat, and tears into these books for us to enjoy.
Thank you.
So we appreciate it, man. And Jose won a bunch of awards at the Boxing Writers Association dinner this past couple of weeks as well. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
You're always killing it, representing New York to the fullest.
Yep.
Yo,
and Zach didn't come. Zach didn't come this year. I was looking for him.
I didn't come this year. Were you wearing your nice suit?
Nah, man, I was wearing the ugly suit, man. No, Zach, you still in New York or you're in Philly now?
I'm still in New York.
Okay.
When I get ready for my fights, I go to Philly, and
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up, man. Hey, listen, Jose, we're gonna talk about this one thing, and this is, also in your wheelhouse as well. Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old.
Yeah.
He's going to be facing Mario Barrios on July 19th at the
Right.
MGM Grand in Las Vegas. What do you think about this fight? Let me take a step back. What do you think of Pacquiao attempting to win one last world title at the age of 46? Do you think that I was gonna say, do you think that he has the ability, like the great Sugar Ray Leonard, to take off from the ring that long and come back and have that one magical night?
I mean, listen, man, if anybody could do it, he's one of them, right? But we don't know. He didn't look so great against Ugas. Now, I don't think Barrios is the most dangerous guy in the world, right? So I think it's kind of whack that he got a title shot after being out for so long, right? And without getting a win. But you know what? That's part of the reason why I wrote the book. There's so many titles. Everyone's going to get a title shot eventually. But I don't know, man. I don't know how he looks, man. We don't know. This is a big question mark. I just hope they have a real good referee who's not afraid to do the right thing, because we may need one.
Wow, that's a very good point. Now I'm gonna kick it over to you, Zach, for a second. A lot of people.
By the way, Abe, sorry to cut you off. I've watched this show a couple of times, and I want to say that Zach is like on point and on the money with a lot of his evaluations and observations. I wish Zach would get a bigger profile, because I think he's almost as good or every bit as good as somebody like Paulinaji was, who gets a lot of love, right? So I just wanted to cut you off beforehand. So I'm really interested in what Zach has to say.
Thank you, Jay.
Yep.
No doubt. That's what's up, man. Zach, and this is kind of playing with what Jose said. A lot of people are making everything out of the video that Pacquiao was hitting the bag in the Philippines, and then kind of like him shadowboxing in LA on the first day. Me personally, I'm like, well, is he supposed to be like fight night ready on the first day of him training at a camp? Like, so do you think that people are kind of over exaggerating or over analyzing these videos, being that it's just his first couple of days of training camp officially?
Yeah, they're overanalyzing it. He's in the gym, bro, and he's just coming back. He's older now. You understand? He's older now. His motors work different. But the only concern for me when it comes to him is guys that come back. George Foreman, good basic style. Bernard Hopkins, good fundamental style. Those guys do well coming back as older, because it's fundamentals. You can't break that. The naturally talented guys, when they come back, it's harder for them because they're not technically sound and they can get hurt. Their motor skills aren't working, their reflexes, their speed. Pacquiao, he depends on his reflexes and his twitchy muscles and his speed, but he's older now. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a good night. You understand? It's either going to be a great night for Barrios, where he's going to look amazing like Ugas, or Barrios might get hit with one shot, because guess what? Pacquiao still got power in the little fucking hands, and he'll put your ass to sleep. And he might just sleep Barrios, and that's it. And he should never fight again, Pacquiao. After this fight, he should, no matter what, he should never fight again. But I think it's just a lot of propaganda, a lot of people talking too much. But wait until you see him in a couple weeks or in a month. Let's see how he really looks, because right now you got to look at his neck. You got to look at his little double chin a little bit. He's a little chunky. But once he starts getting down, let's see what happens. And I hope he's doing a lot of recovery, because that shit, if he doesn't do that, it's over.
Yeah, and that's key. I mean, it won't take much to him to drop 10, 15 pounds if he just drives to Indio, where it's like 120 degrees. He'll drop that shit in like 4 days.
Yeah.
But Well, and I'm gonna kick it to you, Jose. Do you think that Pacquiao's mentality going into this is different in any type of way? So in a sense where do you think he's looking at it like, oh, this guy's not at my level? Or is he looking
No.
at it like, hey, I need to be the best version of myself today, and whatever that is I'm gonna give it my all to try to, beat this young guy?
I think that's how he should be looking at it. The second one. I don't think I think he's too experienced to underestimate anyone, right? Even though maybe he might underestimate him a little bit. Like Mario could surprise him a little bit. I think what it comes down to is what his motivation is. Like if his motivation is money, now he's gonna have a different mindset. If his motivation is I want to erase the memory of Ugas, I can't live another day with my last fight being a loss, then maybe he could turn the clock back a little bit. We don't know, but it all depends on his motivation.
Now, and that's very important. But wasn't Pacquiao like in the middle of a political race, or he was already in the Senate seat when he fought Ugas?
I don't know. He's been a senator for like a dozen years now. I don't know that affected him though.
Yeah,
Like, I think he's used to distractions.
I bring that up though is because if he had that in the Ugas fight, he didn't get elected this year, so he has only this to focus on for this camp.
Okay.
No politics, no nothing, just this right here. Do you see that potentially being the difference in the fight come July 19th?
Who, me or Zach?
No, you, Jose. I'm sorry.
I think it could be a difference, but I think the extra 3 years might be the bigger difference though. Between I think this is a guy. From what I heard from my friends out in the Philippines, he's only working like 7 hours a week anyway as a senator, right? He can't get any more famous, so it's not like he got to really campaign, right? So I don't know that the campaign and he might have overestimated himself or underestimated Ugas a little bit, right? Because Ugas was on fire for a minute. I personally feel Ugas beat Sean Porter when they fought, right?
I was there at that fight. Yeah,
that could have gone either way. So if anything, he might have underestimated Ugas a little bit. But I think I don't think he's going to make that mistake again, and I don't think the senator stuff affects him as much as people may think it is. It's not like he's grinding 9 to 5 in some office as a senator.
Yeah, and Zach, I'm gonna kick it to you, Zach. What should training camp look like for a guy his age and being out of the ring as long as he's been out?
The training camp for Pacquiao should be what would be for him now that he's a little bit older is recovery, reflexes, recovery, defensive, good sparring, not hard sparring, good sparring. You understand? A hard sparring once a week, and then the other 2 sparrings, good regular sparring. You understand? He does not need to spar. I've been in the ring with so many people, and certain people do things so smart. Lomachenko, they do things so smart. It's fucking crazy, bro. And it's all about recovery. So wake up in the morning, run, then rest up a little bit, go do his boxing in the gym, and then rest. The rest of the day, recovery, then repeat. Or you just flip it a little bit. But no matter what, his recovery got to be on point. You understand? He can't run 8 miles and then spar that day. You understand? He cannot do this. He can't even rewind time and say, "Oh, for my longevity," like Andre Ward would say. No, he has to literally be like, okay, I'm gonna run these 4 miles. Then I got maybe like 4 hours to just rest, and then because he'll run 5:30 in the morning, and then I'll go and spar or go and train. Do my thing. Relax. You understand? That's what he really needs. And Barrios, he needs motivation. He needs motivation. You know what I'm saying? But he's got all the motivation. He beats a Pacquiao. He has a Pacquiao on his name, on his resume. He might be training super hard for this. We can't underestimate Mario Barrios. But does he have the experience that Pacquiao has? No, he doesn't. But Pacquiao's a little older now. So that's what that is. And like Jose was saying, this motivation shit for Pacquiao, yeah, I hope it is for his legacy. Like to I don't want to retire with a loss. You understand? You think I'm gonna retire from boxing with a loss? I'm not doing that. Pacquiao's not doing that. I'm not doing that. You understand? So I hope it's that way instead of I need the money. Because then you don't really care. Once the bell rings, you get the check.
Exactly. Mission accomplished. Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, he told the WBC had put out something saying that, Pacquiao had told Mauricio Suleiman that he's fighting to win the world title one last time. That's his motivation. Well, whether that's true or not, it is up to you to figure out. But
he does it. He's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if Pacquiao comes to the ring with the Bruce Lee look on, with the goatee and the shag, it might be over for Barrios.
Back it up, boy. Back it up.
If he comes in looking like Bruce Lee, I think
what video of him getting hit with the stick in the stomach, it's over.
Bro,
it's over.
I think it was the Thurman fight? He came in with the Bruce Lee look. Man, like, listen, Pacquiao is an all-time great. Yes. He knows what he's got to do. Jose, do you think that there's anybody in that inner circle that will be able to dictate what Zach said he should and shouldn't be doing, or does he have too many yes men?
Boo boy.
Yeah, I hope so. He only needs one to let him know, but I think his body's going to tell him a little bit too, though. Right? Yeah. He's not going. He can't possibly feel the same. So I don't think he's that proud. He don't strike me as somebody overly proud or overly ignorant, right? Stupid, right? To overlook certain things. So I think as long as he doesn't try to fight like he used to when he's 30, and he makes the adjustments that Zach was saying, slow it down a little bit, pick your punches a little better. Don't pick your when you go side to side a little bit smarter, because I don't think he could do that for 12 rounds like he used to anyway. At least not with the same bounce, with the same speed. I don't see him making that kind of mistake though. I don't think this is going to be something that he loses on strategy or on focus. I think if he loses, it's just because his body cannot do it no more. And Barrios is a big, long guy too, so he's gonna have to jump in eventually, right, to catch him. But he's just got to be real smart about it.
Yeah, and listen, I think and I'm gonna ask you, Zach, for those that are looking at Pacquiao's last in-ring appearance against the Japanese kickboxer and saying that that's what we're going to get, is that a mistake for people to think that, or do you think that is closer to reality than anything else?
That's a I would say a 95% mistake, because Manny Pacquiao looking at somebody like, who's this guy? All I need to do is just like train maybe like 3 days out of this week real quick to train for this little fight. He wasn't taking that guy serious. But I say 95 because the other 5% is when you do get hit by somebody a little bit, even now my son could hit me. I'd be ready to, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes Pacquiao, he looked like he wanted to turn it on, but he didn't. It was like, is it still there though?
Yeah.
Is it still there? The explosiveness is still there. Will he go? So I don't know. It's gonna be a lot.
Hey,
he got pressure on him right now, Pacquiao.
Yeah, and listen, he's got a full camp, right? He's got a full 8 weeks, before the fight.
Who's he sparring with? Do you know his sparring partners?
No, but I did try to. I spoke to Callum Walsh yesterday, right? Tom Loeffler's guy.
Tell the Filipino guys I'll go over there.
And I was
there
like, what's that?
I'll go over there. I'll go over there. Yeah, I'll go over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we may have to arrange a phone call here then. I spoke to Callum Walsh, and he kind of was being, a little reserved on his answer, but it sounded like he might be one of those guys, maybe, because he's got a fight. He's got a fight coming up, Callum Walsh, in June. So whether it's more so about what Zach was talking about, whether that sparring would likely be more like on the lighter side because he's a big guy, but at least he'll get those looks from Walsh, right? Who's a little bit of a straightforward type of guy, and Barrios, I don't know, like Barrios is weird because I feel like he struggles to make 147. What do you think, Jose? You think that maybe the first fight for Barrios is going to be stepping on that scale?
I mean, listen, I don't know how anybody 6 feet gets down to 147 anyway, right? So that's always going to be a question. But no, I think I don't know. I think we just know what his ceiling is. I think he's as good as he is, and I think he's just going to struggle with anybody in the top 15, 20. I just think that's who he is.
All right, and last thing on this topic, if you had to set the betting odds on this fight, I'm gonna go to you, Zach. What do you put this fight at right now?
Plus 200, Barrios, minus 150, Pacquiao.
So you make Pacquiao the favorite.
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think, Jose?
Okay.
So I knew a guy who used to do odds, right? And he says that it's not just about who you think is going to win, right? It's about trying to generate the most money, right? So you got to come up with an attractive figure. I think Barrios should be the favorite, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't think it's a huge upset though if Pac wins. So I would put it more at like 3-2 Barrios, maybe 3-1 Barrios.
Okay. Yeah, I
What you got?
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they put Manny like at plus 400, 300.
Really?
Yeah.
On a win, on a W, just regular W?
Yeah, no straight way. Up.
If they do
you think that's free money, Zach? You think that's free money?
I think so. I mean, if I think what I think they'll do is if they do set it that way, it would only be for like a week or two, right? To get everybody, and then they'll make the adjustments after that.
You see, he's doing crooked stuff. That's how they do it.
But listen, it's an interesting fight. And this is a way ahead prediction, right? Way ahead. Too early prediction. Jose, who you think wins the fight?
Man, I haven't even thought about that yet. Listen, if Pac has a good camp and everything's solid, you know what? I'm gonna go on the line. I'm gonna go with a draw. That's gonna be my first prediction. I don't think either one of them is gonna do anything all that impressive. Yeah. And I think Pacquiao is gonna hurt him just enough that Barrios is gonna stay on the outside. I think it's a draw. That's my prediction today.
Plus 1,200 on the draw. Okay.
Okay. That's what you call the proposition bet.
Zach, what you thinking?
I'm thinking.
I think he likes draw too now.
Draw is good, man. I like crazy stuff.
Unless he looks like Bruce Lee, then I'm going with Pac. If he looks like Bruce Lee, I'm going with Pac.
Pacquiao might pull out decision. He might pull out decision.
All right.
Listen, I think we get Pacquiao by decision 115-113.
Okay.
115-113.
Can I say another scenario?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got Pacquiao losing to Barrios, and then Pacquiao going like this. I want to thank everybody. I tried to do it again. I'm sorry. Then you got Barrios bowing down to him saying, "No, thank you. Big opportunity. Appreciate it." And that's it. The Pacquiao.
That may very well happen. Exactly.
And that's it. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't want to hear that, but
we'll see how it goes. Listen, before we start rolling out, you got about 224 people in the live with us. Shout to everybody that's in there, has joined us on Instagram as well, on X and on YouTube. Jose Corpus has his book, The 4 Belt Error. that's dropping Memorial Day weekend. So this weekend on Amazon and everywhere that you can purchase books.
Definitely.
Go support him. He's a good dude
Thank you.
and deserves all the flowers that he's gotten throughout the years, man. I appreciate you, Jose.
Thank you. I appreciate you too, Zach. Always good talking with you.
Thank
And
you.
anyone who wants an idea, you know how the old timers always say, "Oh, he would have been a champ today. He would have been a champ today." Well, this book kind of gives you an idea of how it might have looked, right? And listen, you got a guy like Harry Greb. He had 300 fights in his career. Don't be surprised when you see he ends up with more than 100 title fights, right? That's what the book is giving you a glimpse of.
That's what's up, man. Yo, I
Yep.
appreciate it, Jose. And
You got it, man. Thank you.
let everybody know where they can follow you at.
Make some t-shirts, you know, that'll be good.
Yeah, I probably should do that, right? 4 Bell Era t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the idea. Hey, listen, Zach, back in the day, Zach, I'm gonna have to talk to Zach because Zach used to do some of the best videos back when he did like training montages. I remember them. You still do that stuff, or somebody was doing it for you?
No, I used to do it on my own. Like I used to do that stuff.
We gotta talk, man. We gotta make some promotional videos then.
Yeah, I used to do stuff on my own, man. A lot.
Yep. Okay. All right. Good to know. Yeah, it's coming out May 2nd. 4 Bell Era, ERROR. Listen, God bless everyone who got a belt. I wish everyone who turned pro gets a belt. But let's be honest, it's too much. There's too many belts. We don't need 7 people with belts in each division. But you know what? That's the game they want to play. I don't think promoters could promote anymore without a belt. So let's leave the belt. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back in time and give everyone else a belt that should have got one. That's the theme of the book.
That's what's up, Jose. Let them know where they can follow you.
Listen, I'm not the most exciting guy on social media, but you can follow me at Corpus Writer at CORPASWRITER. Same on Instagram.
All right. Well, listen, Jose, thank you so much for
You got it,
joining us
guys.
today, and we'll catch up soon.
Have a good evening, everyone. Thanks for the invite.
All right, man.
All right, guys.
All right. All right. Listen, we had okay, somebody was okay. We had Jose Corpus. Shout out to him. Again, he's got his book, The 4 Belt Error.
Good topics on a Wednesday. Real good in the middle of a Wednesday, you know, good topics, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I want to thank everybody that joined us today. We had 230 folks on here on the live. We appreciate you guys like so much. Do me a favor, please subscribe to @ABG Boxing on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so that you know every time that we come on, you get a notification and you know you can come rock with us, man. So please do that. Hit the like, comment. You know, if you rocking with Zach's Yankee hat, throw that in there too, man. Like, you know, we working out here. You might catch us broadcasting live from a fight night at some point this summer or soon. If Xander fights in New York, maybe we do something at the Garden. Who knows? But
the Fundora fight, who knows, man?
Yeah, man. So just keep checking with us. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys. Follow Zach on X at Zachary Ochoa. He may show up on another social media platform in the future, maybe not. But you know, make sure you follow him. Zach, talk to the people, let them know what's going on, and talk your shit.
Nothing much, man. Just been you know, spending a lot of time with my family, you know, take care of my boy, you know, keep myself in good shape, staying in the gym, you know. Also really been attending good club shows and everything like that, supporting these young up and coming amateurs as well. I see a lot of good amateurs around that are looking real good, real sharp. You know, I see some good pros, some promising fighters. So I'm excited for the future. Boxing looks good so far, man. And I really want to see a lot more activity with everybody. But stay tuned because it's going to be a good year. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Zach, I appreciate it. Again, thanks to everybody. Please subscribe at ABG Boxing on YouTube. You can follow us at, like I said, at Zachary Ochoa on X. I'm at ABG718 on X and on IG. FightsATW.com is the website, Fights Around the World, where we give you the latest in boxing and pro wrestling. So come check us out. And we'll, I don't know. Oh, next week is your guy Caleb Plant. You know, we'll definitely. We gotta get Caleb love. Yeah, we're definitely gonna tap into that.
maybe Zach can get Breadman on the show for a quick second, and we could chop it up, right before fight night and all that. So for Zach and I, thank you again. Peace.
Peace.